One up, pipe.
This is Sonic, and you're watching SonicsChannel.
One up, TV.
Hey guys, Michael Hunter here, and you know, that Smash Bros. Spider Ballot thing is pretty huge right now, very hot topic, so I figured, you know, since you can vote for pretty much any character you want, maybe I should make a video about what kind of Sonic character I might want in the game, even though personally I haven't actually voted for any Sonic characters yet. Now don't get me wrong, I do really want another Sonic character in the game, but I don't quite know how likely that'll be. Mainly because we already have Sonic himself in the game, which is already doing really good just to get Sonic in there with him being a third-party character and all. So to add another character from that same series when it seems that they're only doing, I guess, one character per franchise when it comes to third party, as much as it pains me to say, I really don't see that happening. But if it does, here's some characters I think would be pretty fitting and would probably make the most sense. So to start off this list, we have Miles Tails per Hour. Now Tails was Sonic's very first partner in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and he's appeared in nearly every Sonic game since then. So yeah, for over 20 years, Tails has been right there with Sonic, helping him along the way in all these crazy adventures. Even though he might not have been playable all the time, he was pretty much there. Almost constantly. But hey, they're best friends, so it's cool. Now he wouldn't quite be Tails without his flying ability, so you gotta have that, which would be very useful for stage recovery, similar to characters like Meta Knight, Pit, Kirby, and King Dedede. It would also be pretty cool to mix in some of his classic abilities with some of his modern stuff as well. Well, I don't know if you would say modern, but just think of his Sonic Battle moveset. That would be pretty sweet to have the Spin Dash and maybe the Tail Whip, along with all those really cool gadgets from Sonic Battle. Also, how cool would it be to have Sonic vs. Mario versus Tails and Luigi? You have to admit that would be pretty cool. So yeah, I think Tails would be an excellent choice. On the other hand, we also have Knuckles the Echidna. Not only was he Sonic's real first rival, but he was also Sonic's third partner. Now along with Knuckles being a fan favorite, there are also other reasons why he'd make a lot of sense as well. I mean, one of his main abilities is strength and fighting. Knuckles is very strong, and he loves to fight and punch the stuffing out of things. And that's pretty much what you do in Smash Brothers. I mean, look at him, he's hard as nails and it ain't hard to tell either. So I could really see Knuckles having a moveset that really focuses on his fighting ability, similar to Little Mac. So that would mean we'd get some really satisfying combos out of this character. And of course, it's always important to throw in some of his classic moves as well. So we could have his Spin Dash, and then you could also have his gliding ability, and maybe he could kind of stick to walls in some kind of way. I don't know, Sakurai, you figure it out. But yeah, due to the nature of his character and how he's always been about strength and punching things, and how long he's been with the Sonic franchise, I could easily see Knuckles being one of their main choices for an additional Sonic character. On the other hand, there's also Dr. Robotnik.
Nobody calls me that anymore.
Or Dr. Eggman, depending on what century you grew up in. Now, of course, you all know him as pretty much the main villain of Sonic the Hedgehog, so that in itself makes a lot of sense. And it would also be pretty sweet to see Dr. Eggman versus Bowser. That's something I would really love to see. Now, at first I was kind of wondering how in the world would they implement this character. It would look kind of weird, you know, to see Eggman just running around without any kind of mech or anything, similar to how he did in the Chow Garden in Sonic Adventure 2, which looked weird. But actually, imagine if he had his Egg Walker from that game. You know how he'd have that little boxing glove that would launch out whenever you're near an enemy? That little thing right there really opens the door for all kinds of random crazy gadgets, similar to the fight style of Bowser Jr. So he could really be one of those characters that has a very diverse moveset. But what if he was actually in something that had arms and legs, and he would use the body to actually punch things and shoot and all kinds of stuff? Like, there's so many possibilities with Dr. Robotnik. It would actually be pretty awesome to see. I could definitely see him being one of those powerhouse characters that's probably like really slow, but also very powerful and effective. So with all that said, I really do think that Dr. Eggman would make an excellent choice. Now here's another character that both makes sense and doesn't make sense at the same time, and is also a very controversial character in the Sonic fanbase. Personally, I like this character. I like Shadow the Hedgehog. I always thought he was really cool and edgy, and he was a really cool rival to Sonic in my opinion. But the things that I've always loved about Shadow is that he was always very mysterious, and he was always a darker and edgier counterpart to Sonic. and I simply liked his character design. I think it's a really cool design, despite him being pretty much a recolor of Super Sonic. So yeah, Shadow is very, very popular among Sonic fans, and would definitely be a great choice for a character, but at the same time, he's already an assist trophy, and they have never added a character that's already an assist trophy in the game because it would just not make any sense. But I don't know, things could change with the whole DLC thing and everything. They didn't have DLC before, so I don't know, it could change, but I really don't see it happening. But regardless, his moveset could be pretty sweet. He could have a lot of his chaos abilities seen in Sonic Battle. He's got those cool roller skating fire shoes going on, which could make him another character that's pretty much as fast as Sonic, and there are several possibilities for a final smash. He could have his Chaos Blast, Chaos Sphere, or even Chaos Control, which could stop time completely or maybe slow it down. Now imagine how cheap that would be to rack up a bunch of damage on a character while they're completely stuck frozen, helpless, and can't do anything, similar to that little scene in Mario Bros. Z. And yeah, pretty much the main reason why he'd make a good character is simply because of how popular he is. So yeah, those are pretty much all the main Sonic characters that I personally feel would make the most sense to be added to the roster. And if I didn't mention one of your favorites, to me characters like Silver, Blaze, or Amy for example, are just not popular enough or have enough history with Sonic in order to be included, especially if they were to only add one extra Sonic character. But that's just my personal opinion. So as for me, if I was to only pick one of these characters that I just mentioned, I have no idea who to pick. They all make sense to me, and it's just hard. And that's honestly one of the main reasons why I haven't voted for any Sonic characters yet, because I have no idea who to pick. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree with my choices, or do you have some other Sonic characters in mind that you think would be a great fit for Smash Brothers? Well, that's about it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. This is Michael Hunter, and I will see you guys next time. Later!
This has been SonicsChannel